So my name's Abby and I'm joined here with Nick from ABL Limited and Kerry and Rose from Self Help UK, two of our partners within this project. So I'm conscious that I've got a lot to cram in, so apologies if I go very quickly, but just to give you a little bit of background, we started a number of years ago with a really strong vision. Our anaesthetists and surgeons within the hospital had a really strong vision for the growing body of evidence for prehabilitation service within the trust. We had a number of trusts trailblazing these across the country, and we very much used that evidence-based, and we very much lent upon some national leaders and other trusts to really help us design and learn from them how we could best make our service work, and we had a hell of a lot of passion. And I think that comes through with all of us as a team. The one thing we feel really, really strongly about is getting it right for patients, and this is the right thing for the patients on the journey that they're on. This is a really quick overview of our service. We have patients referred in from their cancer nurse specialists with a surgical target. They have a very finite amount of time before they have the surgery, so we do aim to see them within 3 working days, and that was a target we set ourselves. We do a very detailed, comprehensive assessment where we do patient-rated outcome measures, physical measures, and then very much dependent on what those assessments show as to what services that we can offer them, and we have a huge wealth of services. So that includes building their cardiovascular fitness to making them fit for surgery, social prescriber input to address their social needs, psychology support services from clinical psychologists and community exercise team, and also a number of other services for cancer. They will continue for as long as they can before their surgery, preparing and optimising them as best possible, and then just before their surgery, we reassess those outcome measures to see, and it really acts as a real benefit to our patients to see what's changed and what's improved, and that can be a huge positive boost. They'll obviously go on to have surgery, and then we will also measure their length of stay in our hospital and compare that against patients with similar surgeries who haven't attended prehab. The number of readmissions and ED attendances 90 days post-op, and then we do a 3-month follow-up questionnaire and telephone call. Right from the outset, we set about with patient partners and we co-designed this, and we were very clear that we wanted it to be a one-stop shop, essentially. Patients only needed to tell their story once, and we very much wanted to be part of a team without patients feeling like they were moved from one referrer to another. We also recognised that as a secondary care acute hospital, we had specialist skills, but we didn't have all of those skills to provide everything that was required, and this is where our partners came in. So we work really closely with ABL, who provide our community exercise programmes in the community, in group settings, which really give that support network and have that population health ethos. We work with Self Help UK, who provide that social support for patients that we identify that need it, and who have a really close understanding of what happens within the community and really integrating and giving our community social needs. We have psychological input from our video psychotherapy service, from the clinical psychology team, and for them, not only do they support our patients, but they support the team as well. So they provide monthly psychology supervision sessions where we as a whole team all get together and talk about challenges we may have, how we've overcome them, and support ourselves and support the team through some of these quite difficult journeys of patients that we have. And we've also linked with a community charity project called CARE, run by Notts County Foundation, to support patients at the end of their prehab journey and when they're transitioning into rehab, to make sure it doesn't feel like they're falling off that cliff edge. This is essentially how prehabilitation works. We all can carry stresses of everyday life, and it depends on how your day's been at work, life, and adding cancer, adding surgery, adding all the concerns that go in with that can sometimes just feel too overwhelming. And we very much see that prehabilitation service as a key to unlocking some of those stresses, and essentially it acts like a tap to try and reduce some of the the worry and concerns for whatever they may be. So these are all examples of patient experiences that we have seen in the service, and it's how can we try and reduce the burden. We can't take their cancer away, but what we can do is try and make it a little bit easier, which then enables them to engage in the exercise program and that cardiovascular fitness. And this is where our partners are do the amazing work that they do to support us. So this is just a summary. As I said, it's a bit like a key to unlocking. Sometimes patients can't engage in their physical intervention until they've sorted some of the other worries and concerns out, or vice versa. So it really is working better together. We want patients to feel like they're only telling their story once and that it's truly personalised care. This is the team. So we've got our prehab team at NUH, which is some physiotherapists and our exercise physiologist and our amazing admin coordinator who will sort out all the administrative work. And then we've got Self-Help UK and ABL who are just going to give a few words.
Hi everybody, yeah, I'm Nick, I'm from ABL, we're the guys in the bottom right-hand corner there. So we're part of the provider landscape across Nottinghamshire, and we deliver weight management, physical activity, smoking cessation. We have an integrated wellbeing service. And part of the success for us of delivering those kinds of partnerships is having, those kind of services, is having effective partnerships in place. So what we try and do when we're developing these partnerships or reaching out is to actually sort of sit down and understand, well, we're commissioned to do this. You're looking to do something different. How can we adapt and change our services to work with each other? So we were commissioned to do, as I said before, physical activity across Nottinghamshire. But when we sat down with NUH, it was clear that our staff probably weren't trained to deal with some of the challenges that people with a cancer diagnosis were going to come with. And our physical activity intervention, while not sort of irrelevant or inappropriate, wasn't quite tailored to their needs. So we sat down, we said, how can we change our intervention? How can we make it fit and support your patients? And it wasn't just the intervention, the patient's experience from that perspective. It was the back office stuff as well. So our referral processes, our discharge processes, how we manage clients through our system or patients through our system was different to the way that NUH did it. And that's not saying that one of those was right and one was wrong. It was just that we had to kind of align those together and have that flexibility. So it was really interesting doing that work and sort of you have to go in with that open mindset, and both partners have to sit down and go, well, we're not going to be rigid about what we're going to do. We're going to work and build something around the patient. And the feedback from the service from patients, which is what we're all here for, is fantastic. The feeling like the service is built around them, is relevant to them, and speaks to them. So yeah, it's been a fantastic experience, and the team at NUH have been a joy to work with. So yeah, that's us.
Avi and Nick's both explained that really, really good. So I think all I'll say is that Self-Help UK has been working in communities for over 40 years. So really understanding what an individual needs, it's our bread and butter. And I think what happens when we were approached with NUH to do the partnership work in, it was a no-brainer. We was like, of course, we can, join these two partnerships together to really focus on personalised support and holistic support for that individual. And we see it day in and day out. People talk to us all the time. We're not medical, so I think kind of the patients kind of open up sometimes a little bit more. And cancer's just one part of the thing that they're struggling with. There's a whole host of other things behind the closed doors, which is finance, which is literally sometimes just getting out of the door. We supported a lady that anxiety was so high, she was like, there's no way that I can get to that surgery. So we worked with her, put lots of things in place, and she was able to have her surgery, and it all worked out really, really well. But I think that partnership of us all together is what makes Prehab just the best service ever.
Yeah, I just want to second that and just say that it's like a jigsaw, and all of these pieces come together to make one complete unit, and at the very centre of that is the patient. One thing that we've got is time. The clinicians do their bit, ABL and the exercise team can do their bit, and we can do absolutely everything else to make sure that the patient has the most comfortable journey possible. It's been absolutely amazing working with the NUH Prehab team. Thank you.
And the final slide is just to represent also CARE, who I talked about, and the clinical psychology service, who are unable to be here, but they're very much part of our partnership.
Perfect, thank you. Wow.